Hi guys. Okay. Whew, and Monday in court. All right, I've been waiting 2 days for this, and yeah, it did not disappoint, but it did make me scratch my head. Okay, I'll get into it. All right. So far, now you have to understand that court isn't completely over yet because they usually run 5 or 6 hours, and we're on hour number 5. So technically, they might have an hour or two left. All right. But as of now, there have been two witnesses on the stand. Trooper Joe Paul from Friday, because they have to have cross, and then the Celebrite expert, Ian Whiffen. Okay, so witness number one. Now, remember, I just said he's on cross, which means Alan Jackson is going to have a field day with him because, well, number one, during cross examinations, most witnesses have a memory loss problem. Um, so they can testify to something a day ago for our purposes and have a total memory loss, which is unheard of. Okay, so um, they were asking him a question. I'm going to give you the highlights, okay? Because if I don't do that, you're going to lose your mind. Um, okay, so they asked him about how is it possible that John O'Keefe's cell phone landed where it did, you know? Explain that. He says, I'm not kidding, verbatim. I don't know. It just did. It just did. He's supposed to be the expert, and that's what he can come up with. Expert, mind you. Okay, now I'm going to get a little personal here for 1 second. When I say the word expert, I expect for the person I call expert to be smarter than me in whatever field we're talking about. So, okay, we're talking about evidence and why accident, like if you want a term for it, accident reconstruction, which means you're supposed to know why things happened the way they happened, right? This guy knows nothing. Nothing. I don't know how these people become experts. I really don't. Because it doesn't make any sense. Um, a lot of people have said this, and at first I thought it was kind of a joke, but they said that if you try to use logic, just don't, because your head's gonna hurt, and the evidence won't make any information. So if you try to take logic completely out of your brain, then it makes sense somehow. Yeah. Um. Okay. So there was that, and then they said, "Well, how did you know about the scene or whatever?" And he literally said, "The scene talked to me." So now we have inanimate objects that talk to him. Okay. I, at this point, I don't think he's an expert. I think he might be ghost like, but not an expert. Okay. And number two, followed by number three. I cannot count how many times he said, well, uh, uh, and also, um, his, okay, they give them a laser pointer to show where stuff is on photos and things, right? His hand was shaking so bad that the pointer was doing this, like, imagine a light, like a little point, and the point was doing this. That means you're either nervous because you're lying, or your blood pressure's up, so you're nervous because of that. Either way, it's evidence. It's not. that itself is not complete evidence of lying. No, but like I said before, body language. Okay? You add all this stuff up, it becomes a cluster. Okay? That all of it together points to lying. Okay? That's on him. Witness number two, Ian Whiffen. Okay, now to start from the good stuff, and then I'll go wayward. All right. Well, he was kind of good looking because I have eyeballs, and I liked his accent. Other than that, his evidence was what? Excuse me, that makes no sense whatsoever. Okay, so you know how they go into like your history and your education and all that? Okay, so they say, well, how are you certified? You got any certifications? No, no certifications. No anything. I've just taken a couple classes for a couple hours. What? You have no certifications in anything and you're an expert? Okay. Um, and I don't think he's even a Celebrate expert because Celebrate. Let me explain it again. Celebrate is the program they use for cell phone and data extraction. Okay, that means they can take anything off your cell phone and see what it is. See when you had text messages, when you made phone call, yada yada. Right? Okay. This man sounded more like a customer service rep than expert for Celebrate. Honestly. And then which I don't really go into wardrobe that much, but I have to because it was so glaringly obvious to me. Okay, so if you will, picture a man in a too big jacket for him, okay, and um, let's see, a black shirt and a gray tie, but they look like they don't match, like at all, because the shirt doesn't have the collar the way it's supposed to. I mean, come on, ladies and gentlemen, both. You guys know when you buy a shirt for a guy, it has a collar, okay? This shirt is more like a polo. It didn't have the right collar. And then so the tie didn't match the shirt, and the jacket didn't match anything. So imagine that. Imagine somebody dressed like that, and they're supposed to be your expert witness. Um, I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him. That would be me. So I don't know. But getting down to the bottom of it, like no matter what they said, okay, it sounds bad, but your ultimate goal, if you're the prosecution, is to prove that Karen Reed did this, right? Okay, none of the witnesses have proven that Karen Reed did this without a doubt, a shadow of a doubt. And what do we say? Beyond a reasonable doubt. There's doubt all over this thing, reasonable and otherwise. A, a rational thinking human being, juror, would say there's no way she did this. No way. And I understand the defense hasn't gotten up to say anything yet. But then also, I always remind myself, doesn't have to prove a thing. It's the prosecution that has to prove the person did it. They haven't proven anything yet. Not anything. So, I don't know. I don't know. I think this case is going to go up in flames. Seriously. So, All right, I guess.